Morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
This week's parsha talks about the marriage of Yitzchak and Rivka. The pasuk says, "Vayiviyah Yitzchak ha'oihala Sarah imoy," and Yitzchak brought her in to his mother's tent. So Rashi says, what does that mean? He brought her into his mother's tent. That in a sense, she was able to be on the same level of Sarah. So Rashi explains, "Shekol zman shesara kayemes, hayaner dolok me'erev Shabbos le'erev Shabbos." Sarah had a very special ness that happened to her, that when she would light the candle right before Shabbos, so usually when you light a candle, it burns out after a couple of hours, after a day, depending how big the candle is, right? So there was a special miracle that happened with Sarah when she would light the candle for Shabbos. It would stay burning until the next Shabbos, and then she would light a candle the next Shabbos. So she, in a sense, had a 7-day candle, even though perhaps it was only like a half-a-day candle. That was blessing, the miracle number 1. Miracle number 2, bracha mitzuya be'isa. There was a blessing in the dough that whatever amount she made was always enough to feed all the people that came. You don't know how many people are coming. So usually if you make a lot, you have a lot. If you make a little, you have a little. But somehow, it was always, the numbers always worked out. Va'anan kosher ala oil, there was also a special cloud of glory that was on top of that rested on top of the tent. Umishemesa, when she passed away, pasku, these things ceased to exist, they stopped. Ucheshabas Rivka chazru. And when Rivka came, so then these things returned. So we see from this that Rivka was quite on a level that she was able to accomplish these things just like her mother-in-law Sarah did. So the Rebbe asks a very interesting question. The Rebbe asks, wait a second. We know that Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they all kept all the mitzvahs. So when Sarah passed away, who had to light the Shabbat candles? Avram. Usually the way it works, if the wife is not home, the husband has the obligation to light the candles. If the wife goes out of town for a weekend, the father, the husband, he's going to light the candles. If the mother's in the hospital because she's delivering a baby or whatever, a procedure, she's not able to light the candles, he has to light the candles. So after Sarah passed away, Avram lit the candles. What, there was no miracle? Avram couldn't have a miracle from Shabbos to Shabbos? It says when she passed away, it ceased to exist until Rivka came about. So why, when Avram lit the candles, Avram was also a tzaddik, he wasn't nobody, so how come when Avram lit the candles, it didn't go from Shabbos to Shabbos? It's an interesting question. So the Rebbe explains that the mitzvah of lighting candles is unique for a woman. And because everybody has their part that's unique to them, the lighting candles is specifically a mitzvah for the woman. If the woman is not there, then the man has to do it. But it's a woman's mitzvah. And therefore, even Rivka, not to take away, but perhaps she was able to tap into something a lot easier than Avram because she was a woman and it was her mitzvah. You still have to be on the level to be able to accomplish that, but you see that there's something unique about everybody, that they have their mitzvah that's special for them. The special mitzvah is that it's the man's mitzvah, and the special mitzvah is that it's a woman's mitzvah. We have to try to do everything, but it's a very interesting concept to see the beauty and the holiness of a woman. That's number 1. Number 2, the Gemara says, in certain places, a conversation between different rabbis, and one says, Avuch b'ma havazaret fair. What was your father mostly, this was the most important mitzvah for him? Well, he didn't do any other mitzvahs. Everybody does mitzvahs, but everybody has a mitzvah that's unique for them. So perhaps we could learn from this that we should try to, the mitzvahs that you appreciate, that you enjoy, that you feel there is a special spiritual connection, you have to come to understand that this is your mitzvah. This is your mitzvah. And through this mitzvah, this is the gate, this is the inspiration, this is the motor for you to do all the other mitzvahs. Hashem Shalom, we should all be inspired. We should have the blessings of the light of Torah. It's brought down that the reason why this is mentioned first, because this refers to the Torah, that the light of Torah should also burn, should shine, should illuminate from week to week, from Shabbos to Shabbos, and may we be zoicha to the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu. Amen.